There's a concerning increase among the youngsters who are getting STDs, which is also known as sexually transmitted disease or sexually transmitted infection. Now, what is the reason that we are seeing an increase among the individuals who are getting this? And the time, age bracket that we're talking about here is 15 to 24. And especially it's the female who are getting infected with the sexually transmitted disease. So what are these, what are the types of STDs? What are the symptoms of these STDs and how to prevent it? And there are also going to be some myths that today we are going to burst, because we are joined by an expert who is going to in fact talk about what all are the measures that can be taken to ensure that the STDs can be kept at bay. Now, why is this important? Why is it that the information and resources need to be out there for the youngsters? Because if once affected with STDs, in long term, this can actually affect an individual's health. This can be dangerous. This can lead to really hazardous diseases that at a point will in fact be very difficult to keep at bay. So of course, it becomes all the more important that the youth and the youngsters are very much aware of it and the resources and information are in hand, and that is why we are joined by an expert in this field who is Dr. Vaishali Sharma, who is senior consultant gynecologist, who has joined us. Thank you, ma'am, for joining with us. Now, the first question is it really true that in India at the moment we are seeing that there is of course an increase among the youngsters when we talk about the STDs, sexually transmitted disease? Is there a concern?
Yeah, definitely. Nowadays we are seeing quite increase in the number of the couples or youngsters who are visiting our clinics with the symptoms, and sometimes they are also coming with the previous histories of STDs, and now the awareness is actually increasing. So that is why they are looking into it. Definitely there's increase in the incidence, and definitely the types of STDs, I would say, have increased, changed a lot. And the reason, I suppose, maybe in metros we may be seeing many, maybe because we have too many youngsters, the population is there, all are working class. And if you were talking about specifically the age group 15 to 24, I would say definitely majority of the STDs are seen in this age group per se, and we would say they should be aware before they start any sexual activity. The problem is many of them, they are coming to us when they already have some problem. They are not coming to us for pre-sexual counseling kind of a thing, like we have a preconceptional or premarital. Nowadays, I suppose there is a demand of pre-sexual counseling. Whenever you feel that yes, your body is ready to indulge in a sexual activity. So first, your mind should be ready. You should be aware, and you should know how to protect your body. So that is the most important thing. And
So you think that there is lack of information or knowledge among the youngsters when it comes to?
Definitely, they are not that well versed. Maybe it is our society. We teach about many things in the schools and everywhere, but there is not much information. Only the science students, they get to know about STDs, that too in their graduation or after post graduation in detail. So all other youngsters who are not from the per se science stream or something, they are not that well versed in this field, and definitely they should be aware before they indulge in sexual activity.
So the timeline that we are talking about, the age bracket we are talking about is 15 to 24. That's the age bracket that more patients that you are seeing?
Yeah, definitely. I am seeing majority of the girls in the age group of 18 to 23, 24. Some of them are in their 25s and late 20s also. But yeah, the majority of the new STDs that we see are in this early age group.
Right.
Because
so what is the new STD? What
means it is new for their body. It's not, there's no new. We have these viruses and bacteria for such a long period, but they are getting it in this age group. So if they are aware about it, they will not get it, and they will definitely can protect themselves. So that is the most important thing.
So let's go to the types of STDs. What are the types of STDs that are common when we talk about the Indian population, when we talk about the youngsters? What are the type of STDs that you are seeing?
Yeah, see, most commonly, the most common infections which are counted as STD, everybody know about is HIV. Okay, so that everybody knows about it. They take due precautions also, and they know that. But there are some other STDs also, like chlamydia, gonorrhea, like herpes. So all these are also transmitted by sexual activity. And another major important thing is you need not to have the actual activity, actual sexual activity. You can get STD even by skin contact. So that is also one thing which is everybody is not aware about. Skin to skin contact can transmit these bacteria and these viruses.
Can you point out that skin to skin contact? I mean, what is that particular STD called? How is it? But just by like skin to skin contact, how is it?
I mean to say, skin to skin contact means there is no need of the actual penetration per se. But if you are getting intimate and there is just skin to skin contact, even then you can get herpes. Even then you can get chlamydia or gonorrhea. If the secretions are there outside on your skin only, even then you can get it.
Okay. So what are the symptoms? Are the symptoms, say for example, if an individual has an STD, is it really easy for a he or a she to determine, okay, this is STD? So what are the symptoms? How do one, determine?
Yeah, see, majority of the STDs, they don't cause symptoms. That is one major problem. So they get unnoticed. But they cause problem in future. Later on, if you are finding difficulty in conceiving, then you are getting to know, okay, there was some chlamydia infection previous years, and that led to damage to your internal organs. Then you get to know. If we talk about current symptoms, few of them, they may have some symptoms, like there can be vaginal discharge, foul smelling discharge, there can be rashes, or there can be some bumps or ulcers in your genital area. There can be painful ulcers, there can be painless ulcers also. So if you notice any change in your genital private area and you find that some bump has appeared or something is there which may not be bothering you, even then you should get yourself tested.
Okay. So when is it, say for example, if someone wants to contact you or a gynecologist, or when do they go to a doctor? What are that specific symptoms is there?
See, right now when they are coming to us, when they actually have too much of itching in their genitals, too much of pain there, or ulcers are there. So right now they are coming to us with these majorly symptoms. Yeah.
So how do we prevent it? What are the measures that can be probably taken by an individual to prevent such STDs?
See, ideally to avoid STD is to avoid sex. But definitely it is a natural human desire. So you should first get into a relationship where you know that you are in a stable relationship. Both of you are promising that you will be in a monogamous relationship. In that scenario, then you should get yourself tested. Both of you should get yourself tested first, and when the reports come that yeah, both of you are negative, there is no STD in any of you, then you should start indulging in any physical activity. So ideally this should be the protocol. And always never indulge in any sexual activity under the influence of alcohol or any other thing, because that makes you more prone to have any activity without barrier, without condom, or with a person whom you may not be actually thinking of indulging in this physical activity. So always take a decision, and well-informed decision. Never do anything under any influence of any alcohol or anything. Take an informed decision, get yourself tested, get your partner tested, then take a well-informed decision.
So I had asked a few of the questions that is, among the youngsters, what need to be asked to an expert. So there are a number of myths that are doing the round. So if you could tell us, so someone told me having sex once does not cause STDs. Is that true?
No, not at all, not at all. Actually, having sex once definitely makes you prone for STDs. Even not having sex and having just physical intimacy, skin to skin contact also poses you for an STD.
The second myth is only certain type of people get STDs.
No, not at all, not at all. Anyone, any human being is prone to have STD. And if they are not conscious, if they are not careful, anyone can have it.
And it's easy to spot an STD or detect that if you are infected. It's easy, is it?
It's not that easy. It's not that easy. You have to get yourself tested. You have to get a blood test done. You may have to get a urine test or a swab test done. You have to get yourself tested to be 100% sure that you are not carrying any STD and your partner is also not carrying any STD. There is a possibility that your partner may also not be aware that he or she is carrying any STD. So better to get both of you tested first.
Also, there are a lot of female who told me that if they are on birth control pills, so the STD won't affect them. Is that true?
No, not at all. Birth control pills are just to avoid having any unwanted pregnancy. It's not to prevent any transmission of any infection. It will in fact makes you more prone for an STD because you are so sure that pregnancy will not occur that you may omit the use of condoms.
So one last question, just briefly, if you could tell our youngsters, especially the female, how to protect themselves, how to prevent themselves from getting it affected.
I would say always take a well-informed decision. Never indulge in any sexual activity unless you are sure of your partner. Both of you should be tested first and always use condoms. Never indulge in any activity without condoms until and unless you both are in a mutually monogamous relationship for a long time and you are sure that you don't have any STD. So that is the best thing. And whenever you have any symptom, any doubt, never hesitate in coming to any expert. Try to visit a nearby doctor, try to visit online. Nowadays, so many options are there. Visit the clinic physically or get an online appointment book so that you have the knowledge, so that you can avail whatever facilities are there. And if any STD is there, treatment options are available. We can start the medicines right away and it can be taken care of.
So I hope the questions that were in fact put in were answered by our expert here, Dr. Vaishali Sharma. In case you have more such questions, do reach out to us. And like Dr. Vaishali Sharma said, that there are experts, there are gynecologists, there are doctors who could answer all your queries. So it's not a taboo anymore. If you experience any such sexually transmitted infection, you should reach out to such experts.